Do you have that link, the other link?
Yeah.
Just regular one, so I can post it.
There. Hey, I'm going live right now. I just posted a link, okay? Yeah.
Listen to the sound that you hear like an echo in your head. There's a strange vibration rising up from the heart of America, America. Listen to the sound of the drum calling players to the beat of the new world order. Don't be caught unaware when the heads start rolling. No, it couldn't happen here, I know it wouldn't happen here. I will not submit to authority of man. I'm alive, I'm awake. This is more than I can take. If you had an open door, would you get a little more? Listen to the cries of the dead in the wickedness of Sudan. Is there no one out there? I see blood in the sands of despair in Africa. Listen to the sound of applause in a chamber full of men selling out their people as they plan their assault on the heart of America. No, it couldn't happen here, no, it wouldn't happen here. I will not submit to authority of man. I'm alive, I'm awake. This is more than I can take. If you had an open door, would you kill a little more?
The Council of Republic, we must guard against acquisition of unwarranted influence by the military specialist hunter.
She's emotion and the bullets fall as spray, and the light in the eyes of the innocent has faded into pain. Yesterday I knew the world was spinning toward the days that the ghost of Vietnam threw a veil of napalm. Don't forget your mistakes and where you came from. I will not submit to authority of man. I'm ready to die, but not for a lie. See the signs up here, you know it's gonna happen.
And we are live. This is Is Compliance Voluntary Virtues Network Edition. I am your host, Anthony Antonello, here with Jeff Nizio, broadcasting, as always, from the home base here in Pittston, Pennsylvania, right on the border of FEMA Region 2 and 3, syndicated across the internet and across the planet. And we have a lot to talk about, but now covering so many different networks and so many different nights a week, it's getting tough, and I know there's different audiences and stuff, so some of the stories will be repeating, and I'll do my best to try to cover the real urgent ones, and I'll make sure that I do my best to get all this information out to as many people as I possibly can. So thank you for joining us once again here on actually a beautiful Tuesday evening, and I certainly don't blame anybody for not being here, that's for sure. But the world still continues to spin, and one way or another it's going to spin, but I like to be part of it. You know, I don't want to be somebody who is a spectator. I like to think of myself as a little bit more than just a bystander to history. And the way I look at what me and my friends and colleagues are doing is we are writing the chapters of history rather than just sitting by and watching propagandists and pathological, yeah, exactly, yeah, beautiful out, I know, pathological, chronological liars, and, that's just not what we're about, and, I'm certainly not going to get too much into this and make it sound like I'm really trying to give ourselves so much credit here, but there's a reason that our numbers just are destroying what you consider the mainstream, and this is why we're becoming the mainstream. And on that point, I'm going to get into a little bit. I got to watch the way I word things, because I want to keep the element of surprise, but I am going to be having a very big event coming up soon, within the next about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, and it's gonna be something to see, and I could use as much help as possible. Whether you can make it to the Scranton area, that's one aspect of it. I could use as many people as I can with me, and if you can't make it to this area, then there's also another aspect of this. I'm going to need people that are willing to make phone calls, and you could be anywhere in the world, and for the most part, maybe not North Korea, but other than that, yeah, I don't know if we have a big listenership in North Korea. We haven't gotten a call from North Korea yet, have we?
Everybody is set up with their Kim Jong-un haircuts in front of their webcam.
Yes. Right, exactly. Right. So today's date is June 17th, Tuesday, July 14th, 2014, and man, time really does fly by. We're already in the middle of summer. The 17th of June seems like summer just got here. But all right, we're not going to waste it. I mean, we don't do weather reports here, so let's get into some more serious issues. I don't know, Jeff. What do you want to start off with? Because
I think we should talk about that NODA.
Oh my God! All right,
all
right, yeah. I already got you. All right. So if you're not familiar with this story, all right, this is incredible. So was it Nevada? It was Nevada, right?
Yeah, it was the Nevada Democratic
primary. Nevada Democratic primary, all right? And what happened was there were two candidates that were running against each other, and I don't know how it works in other states. I know in this state there isn't an option for this, but a lot of states do a lot of crazy things. So I'm not questioning this aspect of it, but I guess there were two Democrats running at each other for this particular seat, and they were actual human beings running for this seat. And on the ballot box or the button or whatever you push, I guess there was an option for NODA, right?
Yeah.
None of the above, and none of the above actually won. Okay, and won by a decent margin. So these people who, and this is why I talk about my philosophy, where I don't partake in the system anymore. I'm not gonna grant my authority to a system that I don't believe in anymore. That if I am going to say I believe in it, I believe that it's corrupt to the core, and I'm not gonna partake in that. So for the fact that you had so many people that came out and went out of their way to vote against both candidates, and then that many people actually won.
It's amazing enough when you have people turn out
to
vote for a single candidate, let alone have turnout to vote against both candidates.
Yeah.
That's just
so
man, they must have been really bad.
Right. So they actually left their house, okay? And think about that. I mean, you have that. And here's the thing, and I talk with some of the best experts in the world when it comes to election fraud and Beverly Harris. And what Beverly Harris, because when I talk about the national elections and there just being absolutely no hope whatsoever as far as getting an elected person in on the national level, well, she says the one thing that could kind of counter that is if you had somebody win in a landslide. Now, I personally believe Ron Paul was winning in a landslide, but my definition of landslide and her definition of landslide could be completely different. I believe Ron Paul probably had 60, maybe 80% of the people. Maybe what she means is like 90 to 99, to the point where almost everybody, right, like almost everybody, to where no matter who you talk to, everybody says, well, I don't know what happened. I voted for him. Everybody voted for him. And I think that's what we've seen with the Eric Cantor thing, for the fact that nobody even knew there was an election going on, and the next day, breaking news: Eric Cantor has been defeated. The polls.
Even he didn't see that coming. Like he outspent his opponent by like some ridiculous number, like 10-1, and he pretty much thought that this was a shoo-in. Like, I got this on lockdown, and then the results from the polls came back, and he got his ass handed to him. And it was a complete and total shock to, well, truthfully, when you listen to their speeches after the polls came in, it was a shock to both parties. Like, nobody really thought that this was going to be something that was possible, and it totally was.
Yeah, and that's incredible in itself. So I mean, that's that. And if you missed Sunday's show, Sunday we had a excellent show. We went like almost 3 hours on Sunday, and that's because
I think the total was 2 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah,
The total length of the show.
we went for a while, and that's because we had Adam Kokesh on, and we got the times mixed up, but we figured it out, and it was great. We had him on for a full hour, and you know, I asked him some questions, and you know, it's no secret that me and Adam are good friends, but I asked him some questions that I was curious about for a little while. So I definitely want people to stay tuned for these videos, and because a lot of people do have questions when you're pretty much the guru on libertarianism and anarchism. So somebody called his show the one day, and they said something about hey, I want to hang out with you guys and be anti-American with you. And you know, Adam said something like, "Geez, are we anti-American here?" And I brought it up to him, I said, you know, we talk about how borders are arbitrary lines made by people and enforced by politicians and their enforcers in the military. So I asked him what his stance was on America, and you know, he gave me credit for having said, because that was like 2 or 3 good you know, not softball questions, and you know, not going after him in any way, shape, or form, but I mean, just really deep questions that people that are really think that want to know even more, and I wanted to know, because you know, he's a real deep thinker, and I was curious on how he felt about that, and I'm not gonna give away his answer right here, but you know, hang tight and check that out. We'll be banging out a bunch of videos real soon. And we're trying to get things all aligned for the 4th. There's so much going on.
This is a perfect example of why you should be tuning in all 3 nights that we're on with Sunday.
Well, actually, it's,
you don't tune in on one night and you miss.
Yes, right. And yeah, no, you're right. And we're trying to keep it where you could still get the archives and still, but live is the best way to go, because you never know what's going to happen here, and there's certain things that we can do live that we can't do as far as re-uploading, and we're working on it from all different aspects. But what I was going to say is, coming up, I mean, there is a lot going on, and I'm already starting to prepare for it. I could use help. I have a real big activism, if you want to call it, and this, I don't want to say it'll be the culmination of my activism, because who knows where life's going to lead, but this is something that has been years in the making, something that needs to happen, needs to get done. And if you're looking to help out in any way, shape, or form, get in touch with me, send me an email, let's see, however, and if you're somebody who can't physically be with us, you could be somebody who calls you could make a phone call, and you believe me, you will be helping just as much. And the reason I can't get into too much details is I want to try to keep as much of an element of surprise as I possibly can. But it's going to be a real big deal. And if you're familiar with what I do, especially when I hit the streets, you should know that I'm not kidding around here. This is going to be some real serious stuff. So I don't know, what else you got going on over there, brother?
Well, we have the LAPD, the drone that the hockey fans.
Oh, yeah. If people didn't see this, let's see. You know what?
There was a riot. Basically, what happened was, after the final game of the Stanley Cup, the Kings fans took to the street, and the LAPD was flying a drone overhead, trying to keep an eye on the situation, because they were a little nervous that the fans were going to riot, and eventually they did. And as soon as these hockey, I don't know whose idea it was to break the drone out, fly it over a bunch of hockey fans, and think that these guys aren't going to. I mean, as a hockey fan, I can tell you, if I saw something flying overhead, I would be throwing beer bottles and all kinds of shit at it. And they tried to hover the surveillance drone over the crowd, and they just started hucking beer bottles. T-shirts were coming on. Beer bottles were flying.
It looked like a big sweatshirt is what finally did it in.
I think it was like a hockey jersey or something.
Yeah. And
not one of the blades on the quad rotor.
And you see, this is what I said on Sunday, and I would like to jump out there in the beginning. You know, my knee-jerk response is, wow, it'd be great if these people were just totally anti-surveillance society and said, oh, you know, fuck these drones, and went at it like that. But
yeah, that would be great, but
unfortunately, what we see with sporting events is that people use it for an excuse to overturn cars and light fires and do all kinds of nonsense like that.
It would be great if these guys were all like, you know, anti-NDAA and
but
and
the fact is they don't even
drones because they're a blatant violation of our Fourth Amendment rights. But
right,
that's not the case. They were drunk, and it's more a case of woo, watch me eat this with a beer can.
No, that's about right.
Still cool though.
Yeah, just on GP, absolutely. I'm trying to see. I just seen a video somebody posted, and it looked like it was at a gay and lesbian. I seen the gay pride flag, so that's what makes me think that. And it was like it might have been what is that? Not Instagram. Maybe it is Instagram. I didn't know Instagram could do videos until recently, but they're short. They're like either 7 or 14 seconds.
It's like a Vine.
Yeah, and it was a short video like that, and it showed this cop just totally beaten on. I think it was a woman.
I did see that.
And just like throwing blows, you know, like left, right, and I was like, damn, man. And I'm trying to find it now, but he just lit her up, and I think it was her. I mean, I don't know.
Did you see that? Speaking of that, you know, police brutality and that kind of general trend. Did you see this report that Brazilian cops opened fire on protesters in Brazil? I guess there's a bunch of protesters that are
good.
They don't want the World Cup to be there, and the police decided that was reasonable.
Well, I mean, you see, that's the thing. The World Cup obviously is very important to very important people, people that are way more important than me and you. These guys, you know, they have a lot of money, and you can't have people just, you know, protesting or having any kind of response that might get other people riled up. And if they get so riled up, I mean, I guess they were left with no other alternative but to kill, you know, the protesters. So I mean, I guess these are things that have to be done in order to keep order. You know, you have to kill protesters. So yeah, no, I could see that.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I have this
Oh.
I'm gonna shoot it over.
All right, yeah, go ahead. And I just thought of 2 news stories right off the top of my head.
That was in Philadelphia. Woman arrested, beat by cops for standing up to anti-gay activists at the Pittsburgh Pride. Oh, Pittsburgh, not Philadelphia. It was in the Philadelphia newspaper, though. The article reads, the police officer depicted in the video has been put on desk duty after video surfaced showing him punching a woman at the city's gay pride parade and festival. Mayor Bill Peduto said Monday the officer will remain on restricted duty for a month during an internal investigation. Things turned hairy at Pittsburgh Pride this weekend when a young woman confronted a group of anti-gay activists who were protesting in the crowd. Her actions not only got her arrested, but, for some unknown reason, spurred a cop to beat her. A video has surfaced of the altercation that has LGBT rights groups fuming. Calls have been made for a formal investigation. Pittsburgh advocacy group, the Delta Foundation, an organization that sponsors the Pride celebration, also released a statement. Following an extremely successful Pittsburgh Pride 2014, which included record crowds all weekend, the Delta Foundation of Pittsburgh was concerned to learn about a video of an incident between the City of Pittsburgh police officer and an attendee. We are working closely with Mayor Bill Peduto's office, Public Safety Director Stephen A. Bucher, Acting Chief Regina McDonald, the Office of Municipal Investigations, and the Citizen Police Review Board to review the incident and take proper action. The video is posted on PhillyMag.com in their article as well.
Wow. Now I'm trying to figure out here. I tried shutting my my camera off for a minute, and there's a delay, so my camera will be back on site. I'm trying to see why this is a control room. There's got to be a way for, rather than this just a steady pattern of back and forth. That
Yeah, I'm not really certain. I've been turning my camera, turning my mic up here and there when I can.
can't.
To stop. Seems like
Hang on.
this is wrong.
Well, play around with that and see if you're able to figure.
Cameraman.
All right, see if you're able to figure out. You know, the more. Okay, you know what? I just shut my camera off, and oh no, it's still bouncing on your side.
No, you just see that because I'm see it's back there now again.
Oh man.
But now that my camera and mic is
Check.
up, I shouldn't be under all.
All right. Let's see. Am I brought? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right. For some reason, it looks like my microphone is red. I don't know why that is. All right. So here we go. I got two. There is one big story before I really get riled up here that I wanna. Before I get to.
I have a breaking news announcement actually.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What do you got?
This is at 7:32 p.m. Breaking explosions hit World Cup viewing area in northeast Nigeria. Again.
Where's this from?
Breaking explosion hits World Cup viewing area northeast Nigeria.
And
I'm
this.
gonna get the details now. This actually just came across my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. Oh wait, is your mic muted? Why is that red like that? Hang on.
My mic and video are both muted. And
okay.
I can't.
Your video is too? All right. We got to get back to the news here. All right. So, did you send me that link just now?
I sent you the link for the meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, the woman.
All right.
It should be at the bottom of your Facebook.
Send me that breaking one too.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a couple I want to get into, and in case, I'll try not to forget, but I want to talk about the what was it now?
The lady getting beat up at the gay pride parade.
No, that was one, but there was another one that was oh man.
That link is sent to you, by the way.
The cop. I got it. Yeah, the cop and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That one is just absolutely just off the meter crazy. All right, so here's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you're from my area, all right, now you want to talk tyranny and talk nonsense, all right? Now, and listen to the way this is worded, too, all right? That's the thing about an hour show. It goes by so quick, and sometimes it takes me a little bit just to get warmed up, but that's all right. I can't be 0 to 60 24/7, but well, close to it. Close to it. That's pretty much how I roll. But all right, so normally I would never even spend the 50 cents on this propaganda garbage, but once in a while, and this isn't one of those whiles, once in a while these clowns will get it right, depending on Citizen's Voice a little bit more than the Times Leader. And no, this is not one of those times. This is just reporting, I guess you could call it. But this is disgusting, all right? Now, here's the cover, okay? See that? Cracking down, all right? Shows two piggies there and standing in front of a quad, okay? Cracking down. Larksville police patrolling wooded areas to target ATV violations. All right? Now, let's go to this. Oh, look at Tom Corbett. What's this guy? No shortage of suggestions for candidate Corbett. Yeah, we know. Coming after you too, sissy. All right, Larksville police start ATV patrols in wooded areas. All right. As the weather in northeastern Pennsylvania continues to heat up, the woods will be navigated by more and more all-terrain vehicles and their operators, including police. Perhaps the preferences the preferred destinations of ATV riders on the west side of Luzerne County is Larksville. The geography of the town is what it is. It's a great place to ride ATVs, said Police Chief John Edwards, with plenty of open woods in town, highlighted by Larksville's mountaintop. Problems do arise from irresponsible riders. Wow, not that there's irresponsible anything else, it's irresponsible ATV riders. I think you kind of might have your hands full with your state-sponsored coercion and your institution of controlling people, restricting people's right to freely travel by, oh, you need a driver's license and a registration and a permit, and also you need, the biggest scam. You need to comply with the biggest scam ever, being insurance, where you just turn over money on a regular basis. Just here, money, take it. And if you don't comply, what happens? You lose your license. So when you have the government that makes a law, and then private corporations that benefit from this law, do you know what that's called? Jeff? Fascism. It's called fascism.
You gotta whisper it.
You
gotta whisper.
It's called fascism. Okay? So, as if you don't have enough on your plate with your fascist laws in the state, let alone, small town like Larksville that is, getting by and lucky enough to not have or let me put it this way, lucky enough to have some space where they could get the fuck away from you police officers, all right? So according to Edwards, the biggest problem with ATV operators in the woods is people who will stop on the trail, look at the tin can, and shoot at it. Really, Chief? Well, how do you know that? When did you see that happen? And, are there surveillance? Yeah, and, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. So, we got to put surveillance cameras in the trees. Everything's fine with the animals, but we don't know if somebody could walk back there and, do you know how many murders could be solved if there was a camera in every single tree? Well, no, actually, I don't know how many murders would be solved if there were. Why, are you finding a lot of dead bodies in Larksville? No, but all right, I digress on that. But here, however, in comparison to those who are a nuisance, there are many resident riders who are not a danger to others. Wow, Chief. So there are riders that aren't a danger to others? So it's only the ones that pull out a gun and shoot at tin cans, I guess. In a message subscribed to 2,300 plus subscribers of the Larksville Police Department Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen, if you are subscribed to any local, state, or federal Facebook page, there's something wrong with you. Okay? Now, yes, they could very easily come up with sock accounts and check your pages out, but for the fact that you friend them and allow your news feed to show up on their news feed, do you in any way at all think that is beneficial to you at all? Do you think the police care about you? Are you kidding me? No. It's a way for them to look into the lives of the people around them, and nothing could be dirtier. Nothing could be, you cannot find a bigger scumbag than somebody who lives among you, who spies on you, and then ruins your life because of it, because they have the laws to back them up, okay? Now, Facebook Saturday night. Edwards said officers will use common sense and discretion. Do I even need to go there? Common sense and discretion when issuing citations and impounding vehicles, okay? The penalty for illegally operating an ATV is a possible $500 fine and impounding, which is probably a no-bid contract, and it's going to cost you another bunch of money there. So even if you're somebody who wants to enjoy the, you know, riding a quad, which I do and would like to do as often as I can, but I don't have a quad. If you're somebody who's, you don't have the money to buy one, okay, understandably, and maybe you're lucky enough to have a friend who has one and he lets you borrow it. You're that fortunate. Well, now look at this picture. Look at these pigs right here. Hopefully, let me get a little closer there just so you can see this. All right. Not one, not two, but three. Okay, three of these leeches, these parasites on society, and guess who paid for those four-wheel drive vehicles that they're on? Take a guess. Yep, that's right, you. So, or at least the people of Larksville, at very least.
So basically, what happened was there was like 6 kids in Larksville that got quads, and the police felt jealous, so they decided that they all need quads. So basically, the Larksville Borough bought the cops quads.
Right.
So now these guys are out on duty, and instead of driving around the patrol car, they're hot dogging it up on quads on the taxpayer dollar.
Yeah, no, that's about right. Let's see here. So here's what really stuck out to me, and this is what bothers me the most about this story. All right, our goal here is to get out there and just create a deterrent, show a presence. You're not somewhere that the police can't get at you. The police are out there with you. John Edwards, Larksville Police Chief. Well, thank you, John Edwards. And you might want to, do a little research and take a hint and try to get the message of why people cannot stand those of you that wear these costumes with your shiny badges and go out and ruin people's lives on a regular basis. There's a reason for it, okay? When you have 2 cops getting, according to the story, shot to death by people that supposedly got pushed to their limit. All right, now, I don't know everything about the story, and we could go with other stories. But violence, and I am not the first person to say this, violence begets violence, okay? So when people act out and do things, you might want to ask yourself why, okay? Freedom, if you understand it, and most of you don't, and I would really like for you guys to get on board and start to understand what freedom is. But freedom is not, willingly rolling over and being a good, law-abiding citizen. When tyranny becomes law, it's time to become a law breaker. Okay, so just because something is law does not mean it is just or right. And that is why I don't care about your laws. All right, so you need to take a look and realize that the respect that people once had for you is gone. Your numbers are at an all-time low. People do not trust you. They record every move you make, rightfully so, and I wish more people did it more often. I know pretty much every friend I have is more informed than you, and there are millions of people that are more informed than the police on their own lives. So this is why you see people like Dianne Feinstein drafting bills to try to say, who is and who isn't a journalist, because they don't want things like this getting out and people seeing what's going on. So now not only do you have to worry about, and I don't know where else this is going on, and I'm sure it's all over, but not only do you have to worry about getting in your car and pretty much being anywhere and being harassed by, you know, these clowns in costumes that want to play you know, hero. Now, even when you try to go somewhere nice and retreat and, you know, get away for the day, you got to worry about getting harassed by these people. And this is why I say learn your rights, people, because if you're on public property and these cops come up to you, you have no obligation whatsoever. Now, okay, if you're on foot, you have no obligation to talk to them. I don't know if there's some kind of, I'm sure they might, no, I'm not going to say I'm sure. They might have made up some kind of thing that says if you're driving an ATV.
Well, in Pennsylvania, if you have an ATV, the law is that you also have to have a license plate for it. I believe that's if you are going to be riding in like DCNR property or something. So if you're going to be riding on any of the sanctioned state trails or anything like that, you need to have a license plate for the quad. And there is a registration process for both quads, dirt bikes, and snow as well. So they have plates.
So you have to have,
or at the minimum, a registration. So if it's a registered ATV, then pretty sure you have a legal obligation to stop for them.
Registration, license.
No license.
Registration, license plate.
The DCN, if you're going to ride the ATV in a state park,
then yes, you'll have a small license plate that goes on the rear fender.
So permission.
Permission, yes.
So fuck you.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here we go. I hope everybody is ready for, wait for it, dun dun dun, the next 9/11. Oh, don't accuse me of fear-mongering. Not me. Okay? Daily News. Front page. Okay? Barbaric, as it shows. Now, and, you know, this is something I never stood either, as it shows about 40 people maybe laying on their stomachs with their hands on their head, waiting to get shot, if that's what this is, if it's not a stage photo. And I honestly, it looks close to the same amount of people, but if anything, I'd say there's more people on the ground. And yeah, I see that the people that are standing there all have ARs and AKs. But if you know you're all about to get lined up the back, and when it comes to life, you're about to lose, aren't you going to kind of like elbow the guy next to you and, hey, pass it down the line, we're going to bum rush these guys on, you know, on the count of 3? Like, and this isn't even where I'm going with this story, but I always wonder this when it comes to lining people up against the wall and how people just allow it. Like, hey, dummy, you know, you have one life. Really? You're going to stand there? At least, you know, take a chance of running. Like, how about that ninja guy that fought the police? Did you see that video? You saw that?
Yeah, the guy with the sword and he's all out in the street.
No. No, 3 cops were trying to subdue this guy in, like, New York City. I don't know if he was naked or wearing a bodysuit, but, dude, he ended up I think 2 of them were girls. He didn't hit the girl. Well, the one guy was big. He ended up they were tasering him and everything. He ended up punching the one guy in the head. And, you know, like that move, like Bruce Lee, he was on his back, he used his hands, he like kicked,
like a kickflip.
Yeah, kickflip up, right? And body checked the other cop into the wall. Dude videotaping him was like, oh my god, he's like, damn, he's like a ninja. And dude, he was out. He cracked the dude. He did like this, you know, kick flip up and body checked the lady, and he was gone. I was like, damn, you know, and that's, you know, that's a trooper right there. Yeah, you have these Batman wannabes. Only Batman tried to do good, you know, with their utility belts and, oh, you know, I'm gonna tase you, and you know, first of all, grow the fuck up. But here we go. Fair chaos will spawn the next 9/11. All right. So, barbaric. I'll give you a guess, Jeff. Who do you think made this statement? I'll give you 2 guesses, because I'll bet you.
Well, it probably, I would have to say, more than likely, just from the statement itself, I would say it was Lindsey Graham or John McCain.
Hey, you got it on number one. Good job, buddy. Good job.
I guess.
Yes.
Well, and I was actually watching this morning about what's going on in Iraq and the advance of ISIS across Syria and Iraq, and they're really at least once a half hour on Fox they have been saying the next Iraq, or the next 9/11, I should say, and we have to do something before this is the next 9/11. And there's just something that after watching this all day, that I have to get off my chest, and that's this: if after 12 years and $75 billion a year to fund government infrastructure to prevent terrorism, like the Department of Homeland Security, TSA, NSA, blah 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 blah. The list of acronyms goes on and on. If you haven't, if they didn't stop the Boston bombing, they didn't stop the Newtown shooting, they didn't stop any of these things that they were designed to stop. So if you believe that just because we don't send 337,000 troops into Iraq right now, that there's going to be another 9/11, you have not been paying attention at all. No. Because if there's a terrorist, or if there's someone somewhere that wants to do harm, it should be painfully obvious, after all the time and money that we've spent in this nation on preventing something like that, and being unable to prevent something like that, that no matter how much money, no matter how many cameras, no matter how many people you have watching, if someone wants to do it, they're gonna do it, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, and this is what I'm talking about here. Okay, so listen to this garbage. Senator Lindsey Graham, another Iraq war proponent, i.e., mass murdering eugenicist scumbag, echoed Rogers with a dire caution of his own. Iraq and Syria combined are going to be the staging area for the next 9/11 if we don't do something about it. Oh my God! If South Carolina, the South Carolina Republican said on CNN's State of the Union, if Baghdad falls, a disaster awaits of monumental proportions. Lindsay, if Baghdad falls, you might want to kind of maybe check yourself, because I think you wrecked yourself, buddy. If Baghdad falls, are you kidding me? Who do you think caused Baghdad to fall? Baghdad has fell. Okay, so this, you see, and I know they're talking in this new age, new form type of deal where, oh, the American forces, occupied, okay, just like any other, occupied France during the World War II, just like any other empire. All they are doing is finding another reason, and you know what? If you think all these troops really left Iraq to begin with, you're kidding yourself. All they're doing is justifying another way to keep them in there even longer, and to make this statement, to point out how irrational and how ridiculous it is, okay? The next staging area for the next 9/11, all right? Now, not even, I promise, not even getting into the details of 9/11, all right? But 9/11 in itself, no matter how you look at it and what you believe, was extremely unique, all right, for the fact that you had multiple buildings in New York City attacked by somebody and leveled. The Pentagon, something happened there. And it's sad. This is pretty much the only way I could sum it up and cover both sides. Something happened there. Shanksville, something happened there. But to compare 9/11, what the fuck are you talking about, Lindsey Graham? I mean, you could say there could be another attack, but obviously you have no evidence whatsoever, so you can't say a bioterror attack or an EMP or this or that. No, you have to. So this proves to you it's just straight fear-mongering. He goes to the biggest attack on American soil ever, and that's his his evidence. He jumps out there with no support whatsoever, just like WMDs. You know, if the United States doesn't act right now, it's going to be Armageddon. If the United States doesn't bail out the bankers with all your money and your children and your grandchildren's money, it's going to be the absolute end of the world. But this is what happens, and this is how people fall for this stuff constantly. But
can I ask you something?
Yeah, real quick.
Is there an instance of a terrorist attack that this bloated government bureaucracy has successfully thwarted?
Well,
is there an incident at all that it's actually
they will
stopped?
say that they did, but the incidences they bring up, and you could save that for Wednesday if we have time. The incidences they have brought up are manufactured by them anyway. They'll say the underwear bomber and the shoe bomber.
It's like the guy that they had in Texas that they enticed and said that they were Iranian, tied to Iran somehow, and they enticed that dope of a car salesman.
Right.
And they said, look, we got him.
Or the Hutari militia, where they sent an FBI agent in there, and literally he did all the work. He did everything. He said everything. And just for the fact that he said something violent in front of the rest of the group, and the group didn't, stop him or say anything to the contrary, they ended up getting charged. Okay, so it just, you want to talk about entrapment? Jesus fucking Christ, that is entrapment. All right, but we're real close to the end of the show here, ladies and gentlemen, and this Tuesday show does fly by. I'm actually going to see if I could start this show a little bit earlier anymore, and we have a lot of great things coming. Make sure you go to, I'm having a little bit of problems with my website right now, but I'm sure I'll have it fixed within the next day or two. But still, go to my website. If it's down, just go back in the next day or two. Sign up for a newsletter or an email update. You will get everything that is happening, whether it be a show. Pretty soon we're probably going to be doing at least a show a night, or at least a video a night. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel, Anthony Antonello. Subscribe there. My new sub-channel, Silence is Compliance Live. You want to go there. Liberty Chat, Sunday night, 7 to 9. You want to go there. And all of this stuff is on my calendar on anthonyantonello.com. Tuesday nights, 7 to 8 on Voluntary Virtues Network. Right here, and you don't want to miss this show. And thanks to Mike Shanklin, who put all this together. He's going to be coming up next. You definitely want to stick around and watch him. And also, what am I missing? Go to Adam versus the Man. He just released his book. Check out his new book, Freedom. The Wilkes-Barre Independent Gazette. Go to their website. I write a column monthly. Actually, I got to write a column in the next day or two there. And I know there was one or two things else I wanted to add. What else? What am I missing? Wednesday, FPRN tomorrow. How can I forget that? Tomorrow, big show. It's looking like Keith Smith's going to be coming out. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies. Plus, I have a ton more stuff to talk about, and that's going to be on the FPRN radio network. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is us stepping into the mainstream. We are just taking over what was once the regular media and became the corporate-owned media, and we expose them on a regular basis. And this is one of the best months of the year for doing what we do, and we have a lot more coming. So make sure you stay tuned. You don't want to miss anything. Make sure you subscribe to anything so at least you get updates and you know what's going on. So that's all I have for tonight. Jeff, that's it. We got to wrap up. You're good? All right. So that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. This is Anthony Antonello, Jeff Nizio. This is Silence is Compliance on Voluntary Virtues Network, and we are out.